Hello everyone. In this presentation, I will explain the data-driven approach to understanding Netflix challenge based on the assigned article and show how public data can be used to generate business insights. According to the article, Netflix reported a loss of 200,000 subscribers in the first quarter of 2022, which was its first subscriber decline in more than 10 years. The company also expected to lose 2 million more subscribers in the second quarter. The article explains that a slowdown was linked to stronger competition in streaming, password sharing, inflation, the suspension of Survive in Russia, and resistance to price increases. So the key business challenge is not just one bad quarter. The deeper challenge is that Netflix growth model is under pressure. In the past, Netflix grew through rapid content expansion, international reach, and occasional price increases. But as the market became more competitive and more saturated, that strategy became less effective. This means Netflix now needs to make better decisions about what content to offer and where to invest. I translate this into the following data-driven business problem. How can Netflix optimize its content portfolio under subscriber growth pressure? And what content characteristics are associated with stronger audience appeal? This is an important framing because I do not have access to Netflix internal subscriber level data, such as churn, watch time, or password sharing behavior. So instead of directly predicting subscriber loss, I use public title level data to analyze whether Netflix content mix is aligned with stronger audience appeal. The business objective is to support Netflix content strategy by identifying content partners that may help strengthen viewer interest in a more competitive market. The target variable in this project is audience appeal, which I approximately use external indicators such as the IMDb rating and the number of ratings. The main stakeholder are Netflix executives, the content strategy team, regional programming managers, and subscriber growth times. To address this problem, I used two cargo data sets. The first is the Netflix movie and TV shows data set. Includes 1,809 titles and provides variables such as type, title, country, data added, release year, content rating, duration, general, and description. This data set helps describe Netflix content supply struggle. The second is the IMDb movies dataset. It includes movie level variables such as the title, release year, mean generals, runtime, IMDb rating, number of ratings, budget, and gross revenue. I use the dataset as an external proxy for an audience appeal and performance. These two datasets are relevant together because the Netflix datasets show what content is available on the platform, while the IMDb datasets give a way to evaluate how movie can perform in terms of audience reception. Since the IMDb dataset focuses on movies, the merged analysis is limited to Netflix movies. Next, I will explain the data cleaning and preparation process. For the Netflix datasets, I first remove the redundant empty columns and handle missing values in fields such as director, cast, and country. I converted the data added column in a data frame format. I also standardized the title field by converting text to lowercase, removing extra spaces, and cleaning punctuation. This was necessary for merging the datasets. In addition, I extracted useful information from duration and simplified the general field for analysis. For the IMDb dataset, I standardized the column name and convert important variables such as the release year, runtime, rating, number of ratings, budget, and gross revenue into numeric format. I also cleaned the data field using the same method as the Netflix dataset. Then I filter the Netflix data to keep movie only and merge the two datasets using clean title path release year. This produces a matched sample of a little over 1,000 movies, which is sufficient for exploratory analysis. Now I will summarize the main EDA findings. First, Netflix category is much more movie-heavy than TV show-heavy. Out of 8,809 total titles, more than two-thirds are movies. This suggests that movie is still dominated the platform's content library. Second, the movie common genre in the Netflix category include dramas, comedies, and action and adventure. This shows that Netflix has built a broad and diversified library, but content volume alone does not tell us whether those categories create stronger viewer value. Third, the United States is largest content source in the Netflix dataset, followed by the countries such as India and the United Kingdom. The highlights Netflix release on US content were also showing the importance of international markets. Fourth, the number of titles increased sharply from the mid to 2010s and peaked around the late 2010s. This supports the idea that Netflix expanded its catalog aggressively during this period. However, expansion in volume does not necessarily mean better audience response. That is why merged Netflix IMDb movie analysis is important. In the matched movie sample, average IMDb ratings differs across genres. Drama performs strongly on average, while some high-volume genres such as comedy and action does not always have the highest rating. This suggests that the largest categories are not always the strongest categories in terms of audience appeal. I also found difference across countries. The United States dominance is simple in size, but some other countries also show solid average ratings. This suggests that regional content strategy may matter more than simply producing more than the biggest market. Another useful pattern is that runtime shows a moderate positive relationship with rating in the merged movie sample. This does not mean longer movies are always better, but it does suggest that audience appeal is influenced by content characteristics, not just the quantity. Based on this analysis, I generated four main business insights. First, content volume is not the same as content value. Simply expanding the category does not guarantee stronger audience appeal. Second, Netflix should prioritize higher performing genres instead of relying mainly on broad expansion. In a period of slower subscriber growth, selective investment matter more than ever. Third, Netflix should continue strengthening regional content strategy. Since international content can perform well, targeted investment is in stronger local markets may improve relevance and competitive. Fourth, content quality becomes even more important when subscription price rises. If users are more price sensitive and competitors are growing, Netflix needs a stronger content portfolio to justify its value proposition. This analysis has some limitation. I do not have international Netflix data such as actual watch time, tone, or user level engagement, so I cannot directly measure retention. Also, the merger analysis focuses on movies because the IMDb data does not provide comparable TV shows coverage. Even so, the approach is still useful because it shows how public data can support the strategy business thinking. In conclusion, Netflix 2022 subscriber decline reflects the broader challenge in a more competitive and mature streaming market. By combining the Netflix category data with the external movie performance data, I found that general mix, country mix, and content quality all matter. The main takeaway is that Netflix should move from a strategy focused mainly on catalog expansion to one that is more selective, data-driven, and value-oriented. Thank you.